Vav Iyar, the 15th of Iyar. Naturally, it's the Hilula, the yard site of a really great rabbi from Morocco. His name was Rabbi Avraham, HaCohen, Saban, Zeche Tzadik, Livracha, one of the great rabbis from Morocco. Much can be said about the great Chacham itself, as we're going to explore all about him inside this video. He was actually from the Mishpachat family of Kohen Sakali. Also, he was a great Diyan. He was a teacher. He was a Posek Halacha, a Rosh Yeshiva in the Bdvdo. Also, and he was a rabbi of the Ear of Malia, also, which was in Morocco. Also, a very great area in Morocco itself. He was actually born in the Bdvdo, or we can pronounce it in different ways. Also, back in the year Tafresh Chaf Bet, to his father, who was also a great rabbi, Harav Aaron HaKohen, who was also a famous, prominent Dayan, a judge in the Bdvdo, or Davdo. You can pronounce it different ways also. He learned under the auspices of his uncle, the Maharshach, Rabbi Shlomo HaKohen Saban, was always also called Rabbi Lakbir, and he also learned next to Rabbi Avraham ben Shushan, who was also another great rabbi over there. And later on, he would teach and head a yeshiva also, where he would teach many different Talmudim, including the great Rabbi Shmuel Marciano, which, actually, funny enough, I met a descendant of Rabbi Shmuel Marciano only last week. I was speaking to him about the greatness of Rabbi Shmuel Marciano, but he was learning with Rabbi Avraham Kohen Saban. And I believe later on, I think he would... there was troubleships going on in Morocco. There was a lot of anti-Semitism, unfortunately, and he had to flee from the riots of a rebellion that took place in Bdvdo, also naturally. So he had to run away and arrived in an area called Malilia, and was received with great respect over there. Over there, he founded a synagogue and a great Torah community over there, and later was appointed the chief rabbi of that specific city, respectively. However, later on in Malilia, the troubled ships did fall, unfortunately, to anti-Semitism in so many different places, and he was murdered by the population of the Muslim population over there, and was buried in the old cemetery of Malia, which was reported over. Also, I'm quoting this from the My Tzaddik website, which quotes about the Hilula Chodesh. Whenever there's a Hilula of a great rabbi, they comment about it, respectively. But so it's actually interesting. The wording on his kever, the tombstone itself, reads, I can quote it in English and both in Hebrew also. So, Al Nusach Metzavto Nichtav. It's written with this Nusach over here. I'll read it in Hebrew first. Haneherag al dato mu'tar u'mu'tar b'nimuso nezer elokav al rosho. So what does that mean, friends? Over here, I'll translate it into English, this phrase over here. It says, the wording on his tombstone said, he who is killed for his religion is decorated and crowned with his manners, the crown of his God on his head. And he left behind 2 sons and 2 daughters, and many manuscripts, Torah manuscripts, that reported over did not make it into print, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately. So, but however, there was a poem in his memory written in the famous book, the Gibiyat Yosef, which is very interesting. I think this poem was written in the year 1955, if I'm not mistaken. I think from Rabbi Yosef Harush wrote it, if I'm not mistaken. And what's also interesting is, I think he also his brother was also great Rabbi Yosef HaKohen Saban, who was the father of Rabbi Shlomo HaKohen Saban, the rabbi of Ojeda, also, which is very interesting. Ojeda is northeastern Morocco. It lies actually in northeastern Morocco and is close to the border of Algeria, very prominent position. Rabbi Shlomo HaKohen Saban, also, who we should cover a video on also at a later time. He was one of the compiler of the judges of Bdvdo also, and an author of many halachic books also. And it's his Hilula here on Tetzvav Iyar, the 15th of Iyar. And I very much recommend everyone to read more about him. Please also don't forget to light candles in his memory of the great Chacham, and learn more about the great Rabbanim of yesteryear also. So we talked about Rabbi Avraham HaKohen Saban, Zeche Tzadik Libracha. And Very interesting. We covered probably about at least 25 rabbis from Morocco itself, respectively, and which is very, very important to say also. What's actually interesting, just one more thing I will add within regards to the Great Chacham, within regards to at the time period, I believe, when unfortunately he suffered his death, he was on his way actually to daven Shacharit at the time, if I'm not mistaken, in the Beit Knesset Yitzchak ben Harush, also, which is obviously in Morocco at the time when he died. So please light candles in his memory, and please read about him in other places. Also, very, very great rabbi, and take care.